What's up, everyone? Deadly TV here, coming at you guys with another video about RuneScape. I mentioned I was going to do this on my first 99 fletching video. Essentially, I have started playing RuneScape 3, or the EOC version of RuneScape, new version of RuneScape. So this is just what I've been doing in RuneScape. I've been enjoying, like I said, enjoying the new game, the new version. So I figured what I'm going to do is, since Old School RuneScape was announced, I'll probably play Old School RuneScape on my mobile device when that comes out. I'll also hit it up on PC just because things are always better on a PC. Like, that's just obvious. But I really just want to, there's a few points I want to make about Old School RuneScape and kind of migrating towards the new game. Things that I didn't like and things that I do like. So, there's always two sides to everything. Just to preface this little off the cuff video I'm doing here. Right now I'm doing Slayer right now. I have to kill like 40 dogs or something ridiculous. So I went to Ardone, that's how you pronounce it, and I'm just killing guard dogs right now. Yeah, so we're leveling up steadily, which is nice. These are my stats so far. 87 fletching. I'm going for 99 fletching again. And some pretty mediocre stuff here. Like I said, I just started. So essentially, what I noticed right off the bat, which everyone notices right off the bat, is the graphics. The graphics are very nice. The fidelity is nice as well. The scalability is also great. I can play this game on my potato book, my laptop, and I can also play this on, like, you can play it on Intel 4000 graphics with a decent CPU, or you can scale it up to really nice settings, nice draw distance, ultra settings, MSAA, the whole 9 yards, 144 FPS. And that makes it a bit more responsive than old school RuneScape, I've noticed. Like, things just seem smoother. And that just comes with a new engine and new territory. Probably not a new engine, just a whole different, it's just a different feel to the game. So, that being said, I know why people get turned off by the graphics, because for me, old school RuneScape is a big nostalgia trip. That's the game that most of us played as kids, and that's when I got into RuneScape. But the second time I got into RuneScape, they released the HD graphics for old school RuneScape. That's back when it was only members. Now old school RuneScape, you can play it free. So I wish that they would reinstate those graphics back, or at least have the toggle option, because it looked very nice. However, I really don't see them doing that, especially with old school RuneScape coming out. I will be covering OS Buddy in the future, probably the next video that you'll see. And you can get a little bit of a graphics workaround for that with the OpenGL injector, which is really nice, but that's not the topic of this video. So graphics aside, gameplay is nice. I have the legacy interface as well as the legacy combat system. I will be touching on EOC in a future video. I tried it in the tutorial because you have to. I just didn't really want to invest in getting into it. I'd rather save that for a video, to be honest with you, but really the values versus EOC versus legacy, you're hitting about the same. Maybe legacy is a bit less, how you would say, consistent, because it has the RNG aspect of it. So that's one thing to consider. So I kind of want to compare the two, legacy versus EOC, for myself. You know what I mean? I think the hate coming from from old school RuneScape to RuneScape, is kind of weird. I mean, I understand people have their opinions, and the community is very split right now. But I just wish there wasn't so much hostility on both sides. Like, the memes are funny because they're just memes, but we are playing RuneScape, and just to kind of circle around back to the whole point of the video, we are playing RuneScape, even though it's two different versions of it. But I think it's great that the game is still alive and kicking. Hell, you can even play RuneScape Classic if you wanted to, which is amazing that you can still play that game. So it's just nice to have the game still around, especially in both forms. Things I'm not a fan of, microtransactions. I think those are pretty stupid. Right now, I see the sand right here. There's an event going on, and you get sand from skilling, killing enemies, and stuff like that. And you can either get cosmetic items, which is a big thing. The whole fashionscape thing, that's a big part of RuneScape right now, is make your character look pretty, which customizations are always nice. Maybe that was a complaint in old school RuneScape, you know what I mean? That everyone kind of looked like the same potato polygons. But those potato polygons I loved because I grew up with. A new player, though, probably won't go to old school RuneScape. Unless if they're that jaded from RuneScape 3 that they don't even want to deal with, the microtransactions and the rubbing of lamps to get XP. I can see how that could turn off people. But the game is generally the same. Sorry, just punched my mic there. The game is generally the same. You can put legacy mode on and enjoy the fresher code of graphics and be off to the races and enjoying the same game that you once did as a kid. And that's kind of the perspective that I have when I'm playing it. And right off the bat, I noticed that the community was a lot nicer on RuneScape 3. I got invited to a clan at a very low level. I'm still very low level. My combat level is only 33 right now. But they still invited me because the guy saw me fletching. He was like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "I really want to get 99 fletching." He's like, "Well, you should join our clan because we offer skilling bonuses through the avatar, and we'll all help you out and get you started." So it was really nice to have that kind of warm welcome and just having people to talk to. Like, we play hide and seek on Sundays, you know what I mean? So it's fun. And in old school RuneScape, I really didn't have that interaction. Like, I did meet really cool people on there, like I said in the other video. And I was convinced from one of the people that I play with to start RuneScape 3. And I'm really happy I did, honestly. It's a really nice game, and I'm happy to be playing it. I'm glad I put a lot of my preconceived notions to the side and tried it for myself, because the people who just hate RuneScape 3 and haven't tried it for themselves, you have to try something before you hate it, in my opinion. Which, that's a very broad statement, you know what I mean? But I think it's important to at least be educated in what you hate. So, only 6 more dogs to go. That's fantastic. Some of these Slayer quests are a little ridiculous with the amount of enemies you have to kill, especially just guard dogs. Anything to really bat an eye about. Yeah, but there's new skills, like, I think Invention is one, I want to say. And Summoning, I think those are new. So there is new content. There's a city called Menaphos, I think. So new content. And that's like also another thing, is that the reason why skilling is a lot quicker, and I'll get into skilling in a second, because like I said, I got the 99 fletching, the RSI carpal tunnel inducing task that I put myself through in order to get 99 fletching, my first skill cape. So believe me, I understand the pain of skilling. Not like rune crafting or anything like that, because that's a horrible skill to train. I give props to anyone who goes through that, because that is rough. But it's really nice. I'll pop into a bank real quick, because there's one over there after I get this Slayer task done. But skilling is a lot quicker, and there's things like portable fletchers that you can use to increase the rate of you get XP from fletching. There's your clan bonus, which is like 2.3 XP per task or per action you do. And if you're next to the avatar, you get double XP, which is really cool. And that being said, and during the Citadel, you can work there. And it's just another task you can do. Like, I got 40 fire making just by helping out my clan Citadel, which was cool. But there's a lot of things that they streamlined to the game in order to get to the end game, because that's what people want to do. There's lots of PVM. Now, I heard that there's not a lot of good PvP here, and I know that's why a lot of people stick to old school RuneScape. I'm not really into PvP. I never was. I never really was good at it. But that's something I might explore in the future as a complete noob to PvPing. I just had a lot of bad experiences as a kid with PvP, so I'm definitely open to suggestions on how I can get better at that. I should really show, when I do the OS Buddy video, I'll show the progress I've made from the 99 video, my old school RuneScape account, to what I've done currently on it. I think I have some decent gear, but I still haven't done, I still haven't got the rune plate body. I'm just using a granite plate body. I think, is that, how many more wolves do I need? Just an aside real quick. How am I doing so far? Okay, yeah, so we're good. Let's go to a bank. And just things like using spacebar, eluding all option, and using numbers like on your keyboard, it just makes things a lot better than just the click fest that RuneScape was. It just seems a lot easier and more comfortable to play. And you have these things called bank presets, which are really nice. And when you're fletching, it makes it a lot quicker. Um, Now, I think old school RuneScape is definitely a lot more hardcore. I think this is a bit more casual of an experience, and depending on who you are, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. It just depends on what kind of player you are. And I don't know if that's just me right in the middle playing devil's advocate. Believe me, I want to play both games, but I think most of my time is going to be spent on RuneScape 3 now. I don't regret any of the time I spent on old school RuneScape. That's the game I played as a kid, and I love that game. There's much nostalgia to that game, many good memories. So this is nice. This is how anemic my bank looks right now. I know it doesn't look great, but so let's just say if I want to start fletching, I hit 1 on my keyboard, full inventory of magic logs. I hit knife, which is actually in a tool belt now, so you're not using an inventory slot. I hit spacebar to fletch, and then we're off to the races of fletching. I'm getting that bonus XP since I'm in a clan. So skilling's a lot better, it's a lot quicker. So far, those are a lot of the reasons that I like RuneScape over old school RuneScape. Things I don't like, I don't know if I'm going to like EOC. I think it's kind of like World of Warcraft Lite. But I'm willing to give it a shot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm willing to give it a shot in order to give myself an informative opinion about it before I continue on not even disliking, or like before I decide to dislike it, I definitely want to try it out first. I'm losing nothing in not trying it. So yeah, I think there's also more content here for free to play players. I don't know that for certain. I know a friend of mine wants to get into this version. He tried to get an old school RuneScape to, try to play a game with me, and he really didn't like it because he didn't grow up with old school RuneScape. But there are some people who play this game and want to go to old school RuneScape for some reason. So like I said, there's definitely that split there. And I haven't noticed that many bots either, which I find refreshing because there's a lot of bots in old school RuneScape. As we know, it's a problem. I wish Jagex would get on it, but that's just... So anyway, I'll hit 2 then, and now I have 14 shield bows and 14 bowstring. Now that would just be a lot of clicking. That'd be a right-click 14, right-click 14, and then click, fletch. So this is definitely a lot quicker, and it doesn't make skilling horrible. It's still a grind. It's just not as bad of a grind, which is nice. And that's a sand I got from that. So I'm happy with this game. I'm happy it exists, and I'm happy that RuneScape is still a strong force. Like, there could be up to 100,000 people playing the game at any given time between both versions. I wish it was just one game that had 100,000 people playing, but it's nice that we have the options, and that's what's great. One thing that's nice about old school RuneScape as well is that the way updates roll out, it's all community poll based. Now, there are polls in RuneScape 3, but I feel like the devs are more inclined to do whatever they want. Like the rolling out of EOC, I don't know who wanted that. I think that was just a complete, like, Jagex is like, okay, we're going to be updating this game. That's what you're going to get. But then again, they put the Grand Exchange back in when a lot of people didn't want the Grand Exchange back into old school RuneScape. So like I said, there's pros and cons to both sides of this. Another thing I like is I keep forgetting things. I wish I would have wrote this stuff down. Hopefully no one's tuned out by now. Is the lodestone network, the way of teleporting around, is a lot better. I got my magic level up to like 50 or 45 on my old school RuneScape account just so I can teleport around. So I grinded up to 45 just to teleport around. As long as you visit the location and unlock the lodestone, you can just teleport there. So I need to go visit my Slayer Master to get another task. So I'm going to go to Canifis, and I'm just going to basically use the same kind of animation of the home teleport from old school RuneScape to hop to this area, which it just makes jumping around so much easier. I don't know. It's just there's something about the same areas that you played as growing up as a kid with a fresh coat of paint on. You know what I mean? It puts a smile onto my face. I like both games. I'm going to continue to play both games. Oh great, they spit acid. How many do I have to kill? I need to pop up to a. And this is Flo, my pet, my feather pet. So I like the streamlined approach because when I'm back into school, I probably won't be able to play old school RuneScape. That's why I'm happy it's gonna be on mobile soon. That's gonna be really cool. I don't know how RuneScape 3 is gonna run on mobile. I'm gonna definitely explore those options. But yeah, oh yeah, the music's a lot better. I'm not gonna put music because I don't listen to RuneScape music, but it's definitely a lot better. I don't know. I like this game. I'm happy it exists, and I'm gonna keep continuing to play. I'm gonna make videos about it, which is cool. So, all right, guys. I think I rambled on long enough about RuneScape. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you stuck around. More content to come, and I will see you next time on the next video. See ya.